So this is just a quick roundup of how I actually performed at the Kent tournament. Stay tuned, you're going to see all the games, a little bit of a start and finish review, and then afterwards I'm going to do a little review on actually my army and how I did and what could be better, what could change. Generally just a really awesome day, but I don't want to get in too much. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, so this is me, Christopher, live at the 40k tournament in Kent. All just setting up. There is 40 plus players here. 10 people dropped out. Everyone's there. Everyone's enjoying games. This is the bottom tables at the moment. I'm just waiting for my opponent, who's Chris Jess, which actually comes from my old Warhammer club. It'll be really interesting to play him, see how he is and how life's treating him, but also actually have a really good game. A little bit of rivalry, which I really like. I hope everyone enjoys. I wish us not the best of luck, because that would just jinx us, but I hope everyone has a great tournament. Hope you enjoy. I'm going to be making videos as we go along, probably not live just because it's rude filming at your opponent, I think, but let's see how it all goes. Hopefully it goes really well. I'll take photos of all the armies, all the terrain and stuff. Massive shout out to Mats who've given us loads of terrain and mats for this tournament, because we're one of the sponsors. There's loads of other sponsors as well. Constant Gamers, Deep Cut Studios, and loads of other people actually giving out prizes as well, which is really cool. And it's just some amazing scenery. But everyone's getting their armies ready. A couple of fixes. Already people using Super Glue for the travel down, which is natural, but it's going to be a really good day. Hello, so this is Chris Jess. We're going to do the awkward left-handed handshake for good games because we're just about to start. And as you can see, it is a Guilliman and two fantastic Land Raiders that Christopher CJ has really rushed the paint, but actually he's done a really good job. Really like them. Loads of las cannons, which has made my knight go into deep strike. My knight is in deep strike. That is the only way I can keep it alive. Ironically, I've won first turn, which means I've probably spent that CP unnecessarily, but who cares? It is Relic the mission, Spearhead, everything else is deployed. Let's hope it goes well. Whoever just gets the Relic at the last turn wins, basically, because it's worth 5 victory points, but you can still score all the extra points to hold you for the rest of the tournament as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. Me and CJ haven't played for a very long time since we went to the old club, so actually it's really nice to play again. Catch you all later. So it is a victory for me, 7-2, probably a really funny game. CJ, what happened to you? What happened to your tanks?
It was just explosions all over the place, mate. All over the place. Yeah. A good game.
Pleasure. It is basically his Land Raiders. I took him down a little bit, but still I didn't do as much damage to the tanks that he did to himself. That's pretty much the bottom line, because they exploded. Then Guilliman took a bunch of wounds from the explosion of the first one dying, and my knight charged in. My warlord died in an explosion. My knight was left with one wound, and Guilliman came in a heroic stance and chopped him up, then exploded, which then also killed Guilliman. And then the other Terminus Land Raider also got caught in that explosion and then blew up. So in one explosion, my knight died. My knight who caused the explosion, Guilliman died, and the other Land Raider died. It was absolutely amazing. Guilliman left. He did the reroll to try and get Guilliman back up with more than 3 wounds, because he did the reroll. 3 wounds left. Guilliman isn't strong enough, unfortunately, especially when he's still firing my Leviathan, my scouts, my rapier, and all of it just shot at him. He did survive all of it, apart from 3 wounds in the end that actually got through when he was on 2 wounds left from my Leviathan. So it was about target priority, just picking off the little wounds by my own scouts and stuff like that. I still hold the objective, which is Relic, so that gets me to 5 points. I had enough movement left with my jump lieutenant to get me line breaker. It is actually the end of turn 2, so this would have been the start of turn 3. So it looks brutal, but this is what happens when you're at a tournament and you play limited models. Your turns are actually really quick, but actually really fun as well. If CJ was going against someone else, like who had a pure knight army, wow, that would have been a different game. I had to be very strategic with my knight and had to strategically play the Relic really well, because I knew if Guilliman was getting up and just chopping unit after unit after unit, I had to put things in his way, and that's basically what I did. I was very, very lucky on all the mortal wounds and explosions and stuff like that, but really good game. It's going to game 2. Haven't scored max points, didn't get first blood on that many tanks, but actually let's see how it goes. Second game's on the way, and it's a little bit of a battle versus Jack again. Jack's brought Death Guard with Monty. It's going to be a tough game. It's an interesting mission. It's going to be full right in my face straight away, as you can already see everything's moving forward. It's going to be really cool. Enjoyed playing Jack last time, really fun guy, so actually really looking forward to this game. Round 2 on the way. Let's go. So, round 2 is 13-3 to me. Jack, thanks for the game. It was a really, really tough game, actually. It would have gone completely the other way round. Jack would have had 13 and I would have had 3 if I didn't put everything into Mortarion, including my Knight into combat and my Warlord. My Warlord died and did heroic and be able to hit again. I pretty much threw everything into it. I ended up with no CP at the end of round 2. Round 6 is where we've got to, but turn 4 is officially when I won the game. But actually, really, really tough. It just needed to be as ferocious as I could be into Mortarion. I could have selected the lawnmowers coming at me first, but then Mortarion just swiped and killed my army pretty much in a couple of turns. So without dealing with him first, I had to. It was the only way I could win it. Jack? Been a pleasure, man. Okay. So, see you at round 3. 3 games. Could I get 3 wins and put me on maybe a placement? Don't know. It's going to be tough. So yes, with the last game with the points, I am on top table. Playing Andrew, who's just setting up his beautiful, beautiful army. Guard, a lot of flamers, and he's got a bigger knight with flaming. So I've got a wish for luck on that. It's going to be charging me so much, so full turn. I think it's going to be a relatively quick game because it is like a do or die army list. I don't think Marines really stand up to Hellhounds that well, but we'll see how it goes. I've won 2 games. I'm really happy where I am at the moment. It's great to play on top table, and it's really good to play a really decent opponent as well, who's not one of those players. So it's a win all round. So really looking forward to it. Back to the results. So, I completely lied. When I said this is going to be a quick game, it wasn't. We're actually at turn 6, and it was 16 points to 16 points. Star of the match, Andrew, what was it?
35 wounds against that one shot.
35 wounds onto a knight with its flamer. My knight was toast, but actually it was a really cool mission. Andrew, thanks very much, man. It was great, really close. Loads of people around at the end trying to enjoy our first battle, which complicated things. As much as Kev said we might have played the wrong mission at the start, ignore that, that's just lies. We corrected it, we know exactly what we're doing. You wouldn't get, top table, we're the ones who know what we're doing. Not Kev, it's alright. But generally it was a really good game. both of us come undefeated at Kent tournament. That's where it plays.
Lights and going absolutely supernova and blowing each other up, which is quite entertaining. And then at the top tables we had sanguineous being taken out by a loading bolt pistol, which was quite entertaining as well. So, starting with what I feel often is our most important award. Sportsman of the Day. Award to the person who's had a freaking shocker but stayed through to the end. And that'll be Chris Jess. Very closely contested this time. Came down to one vote. Our winner, Tom Spear. Now at this point, I'm going to take a moment to wave around this little thing. This is going to be our ongoing end of year winners trophy. So end of winter, we're going to have a crown a winner and get engraved on this bad boy. And next year you'll see all the events are already listed on the Facebook group for the whole year. Top 4 people from each event will go into the grand final at the end of the year. And one of you will be taking this home. So next year, very, very nice. But today, 3rd place. Right, let's go the other way round. Let's go the other way round. 1st place, winning our big, lovely trophy today. You face at me, Luke Grant. Congratulations. There we go. One of them, and we'll shake hands and run out of hands. Second place, Stephen Roberts. Ever the bridesmaid, but never the bridemaid. 3rd place, Roger Barnett. Well done. Right, round of applause for all the winners. Now, full disclosure, I did have one extra prize. Because knowing that Grey Knights are the toughest army in the world to play, I bought a box of Grey Knights, so to give to the person who scored the highest with Grey Knights, but no one turned up. Right, so thank you everyone for turning up. I hope you had a great day. I hope we'll see you again. And just round of applause themselves.
So I'm back home, a couple of days after tournament, really knackered. I really wanted to smash out a video quickly, but I was just so tired. If you've ever been to a tournament, you're exhausted if you're playing at a high standard. I find if you're just playing like locals and stuff like that, it still tires you out. Normally we just have one game, you know. The tournament, there's a little bit more pressure. You're playing like 3-4 games. I had an incredible day. If you got to this far, you would have seen how I've done. Well, you know that I didn't come 3rd or 2nd or 1st this time, unfortunately, but undefeated at the tournament, came 5th, really close. If I'd won my last game, I would have come 3rd, but just wasn't meant to be. So I'm going to do a little bit of a roundup of my tournament army. It's just behind me, set up on this lovely table from Urban Mats, and the mat and the terrain from Urban Mats as well. All great kits, and this is what came with myself for the tournament. So we sponsored 4 or 5 of the boards, I think it was 4. Worth of scenery. It was like a mixture of my home stuff and a lot of stuff from Urban Mats. I'm going to give you a roundup of my army list, see what it was like, what you think of tournaments in general. Be interested to know. Please place your comments below. So let's get close-ups of the army. So my army was a battalion with a super heavy detachment. stereotypical. Was a Smash Captain, Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Has the relic from the Raven Guards, the Stalker Silent Stalker, and that's the Warlord trait, one of them, and then the relic as well. So as a combination, it allows you to assault and charge and no overwatch. Focus. There we go. Next up is Lieutenant, which is literally just a chainsword and mastercrafted bolter and a jump pack, just to add to the reroll to wound of 1, but also to add support to my Thunderhammer champion coming in, but also just jump around and claim those objectives as well. My troop choices was squad of 5 scouts, or 2 squads of scouts, both armed exactly the same, with the sergeant with a storm bolter, infiltrating, claiming objectives first, and hiding just to score points all the way through. Next up for troops was 2 squads of intercessors, exactly the same loadout with auxiliary grenade launcher, and literally just tip 5 guys. A lot of wounds, a lot of shots that they can pull out, which is the main thing. Next up for heavy support, which is the non-relic, was the rapier. This is obviously the quad heavy bolter. The gun crew have some awful rules which don't make sense, that you can't target them unless they're the closest enemy unit, and they don't have the character rule, so they can't get sniped. So often you would have the quad heavy bolter like that, and then as long as they're within 3 inches, they could hide and they can't be shot at. Yeah, the quad heavy bolter could be shot at and killed, but then they act independently and they can claim objectives without actually being shot unless they're the closest. So they're a pain unit. I mean, people want to deal with the quad heavy bolter, especially after probably the second turn, because the main threat isn't them. The main threat in the army is not only the knight, big and blue, purple, big and yellow, but is the storm cannon, Leviathan with 2 heavy flamers and 2 hunter killers as well in my list. This was a beast. If you're standing still, you're hitting on 2s. If you're spending a CP and you move, you can make him a captain, which then gives him a reroll 1 bubble to help out the rest of his army. So in fact, I could use him as the castle with lieutenant and actually have the jump captain in deep strike ready to move forward, or I could just teleport him through if I wanted to. The next is the knight. Now this was just a combat knight. Now in this tournament, you didn't need to list your secondary your relics or your traits. So obviously I had to list it all for my jump captain because he was my warlord, and that gave me the option of basically tailor making my knight. Now often or not, I picked Longstrider, made him a character. Sometimes I gave him a relic chainsword because I like the idea of reroll 1s. Sometimes I gave him the relic. I didn't actually give him the relic fist at all. And some other times I used him as when you can put him in reserves. It's not deep strike, but they can come on from outflank. So which really confused some people because they were like, set up, I know he's got a knight, so I need to dedicate fire to all of that. And I was just like, actually I don't need to. I can just spend the free CP, and it is a lot of CP to do that. You'll always donate. And all my army has the Devil Brush logo on as well, which goes with our dice, which was from Wildstorm Gaming, which is really good. And then my Tau Piranha, which is smashed up, which is the 4-12 one, which you can't get anymore, which is disappointing. I probably should have used the normal one. But that's the army itself. Really liked it. Did really well. Go through some of the tactics as well I used. So for tactics wise, Space Marines, this is prior to the new codex that's coming out. There's loads of cool stuff, and I think my army actually becomes better, and I probably will drop a knight and put more Marine stuff in there. The fact is I can almost get another rapier in there and something else, maybe a squad of Hellblasters or something like that.
or even more tactical, just normal tactical marines. But the army itself did really well. The missions were Relic, 4 Pillars, and not 4 Pillars, Vital Intelligence, and the one where they scatter when they just move. So it's like 4 objectives and they scatter, which is quite cool. And flyers can score more points on them. Not flyers become objective secured or something like that. Units with word fly anyway. So overall, tight game. First game, really tight. You've already seen all the reviews on it. Second game, really good. Third game, incredibly tight. There was no way, I don't think I could have played better or changed. The only thing on reflection was the last game. I probably shouldn't have went for Knight, so Knight v Knight. I should have done the Smash Captain and the Knight just going into his back lines because I paid for the points for the outflank, and I got the HLC deep striking, because then I could just take the guardsmen out and then leave the rest of the forces, listen my army, just deal with the Knight or die to the Knight, but then I'm still scoring points at the back. In hindsight, that's probably what I should have done, and rightfully so. It was a draw in that game. They got me. It was a high scoring draw as well, but really fun. But that's the overall of the army. I hope you enjoy it. I hope the light is not too bad. You can actually get a true reflection of the paintwork that's actually on it. I do like this army. But it is it's called Devil's Sons, the Space Marine chapter. Can't wait to customize at all. Already looking at the fact that Leviathan is heavy weapons, so that means first round on heavy doctrine it's going to be AP3, which is disgusting, and I'll probably customize my own chapter just to make weapons that extra 3 inches long, because then the heavy flamer can overwatch. That's pretty much it. And the rapier is disgusting when you apply that. That's going to be -2 AP on a quad heavy bolter for what is 75 points, which is ridiculously cheap. But let's see how it goes with the new Space Marine book. Already pre-ordered my new Space Marine book with Goblin Gaming using our affiliate link, which is in the description. I think mono Space Marines particularly are going to be very strong. Is it a sign of things to come? I'll be interested to know. So that is everything. Great tournament. Massive thank you to Kev for running it. Thank you for Urban Mats as well for shipping a lot of stuff to me in time. I think I asked for like an extra mat like a couple of days, like 3-4 days before, and they got it to me as well, which is one of the beautiful, what did I use? Desert mat and a frozen mat. I'll do reviews on those mats soon as well. I'm getting out with some of the scenery that I've bought, but also some of the scenery I've made for both of those because I really like them. I spent quite a lot of time on it as well. Let me know what type of tournaments you've been up to, what type of lists you've been playing with, what do you want to change, what your reviews are. Are you excited about the new Marine Codex? I know I am. I've got this Marine army. I've got a not a Blood Angels, a Dark Angels-ish, but they're purple, so I could use them as a successor Marine army. I've also got Salamanders, so I need the supplement for that. And I've got a Crimson Fist army ready to build, but looking at Crimson Fist rules, I don't know if I might switch that and make it a customized colours, because at least I can use anything else. I've got Blood Angels army that hasn't been built yet, and I've got my Hawk Marines, which are all the beaky guys, which are one of my first painted armies complete, which is a whole old school tactical company with Terminators thrown in, Razorbacks and Predator and all that, but it's all like one-offs. Be interested to know what that comes. If the book's as good as it could actually get some play, especially as I want to use it on a frozen mat, which will look really cool. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Really enjoyed my tournament. Still tired from it, to be honest, and still a couple of days afterwards, but wherever you're in the world, make it a good one, and happy hobbying.